May 7th, Town Board Work Session, 10 a.m., all members present.
You got anything, Bob? You want to start with you?
No, I have nothing, Pat.
Mr. Wareheim?
Two things. One, I see Russell's not here today.
Was he supposed to be here?
Well, I thought usually he's here, and it was in reference to the memo that he sent on the C and D. Apparently the cost went up,
Oh, yes, yeah.
and I just want to know the board's sense. Are we going to
We have to-
raise our fees? Is that what we're going to do to cover it?
Right now, we haven't, but we will, probably.
Okay.
And that's just a simple matter of telling Matty to raise the fee.
Right,
Yeah.
I think that's the way we should go with that. That's my opinion.
That's for sure.
To cover that cost. The other is rather simple. I have Lou here and Eileen, just to briefly discuss this proposal about employee verification that a vendor came in and talked about. It's at no cost to the town. It's something that would be advantageous to both Lou's department and Eileen's. I don't know which one, Lou, you want to come up and just briefly explain it, or Eileen? I think it's kind of a no-brainer, but the board should know about it. These are the booklets here, if anybody wants to see them.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is an outside company that would provide a service to the town at no cost to basically provide a service that we fill for employees, which would be somebody's applying for a mortgage, they need some verification about their salaries and so on and so forth, that this company would, with permission from the employee, would then go and provide that information without our assistance. They would bill the company requesting the information or the requester, and I think that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, the requester gets the billing, not the town.
Right.
And this is an agreement? Would this be a
They would, yes.
agreement that would be signed by the supervisor?
Right.
Okay.
All of the issues regarding security and, I'll say, have been at least preliminarily addressed.
Okay.
And this particular company has 25 years of experience in this particular area of expertise.
What is the name?
It's called Proof Positive Verifications.
Where are they based? Locally or?
I think they're based in Smithtown.
They're a local company, they're on 347.
347?
Yeah.
Okay. So if the board has a sense, you'd finish up anything you need to require from them, and then we could proffer a resolution.
Right. Also,
They
it's,
would not bill any
wouldn't bill us, and it will.
town employees who are seeking.
No, it's, to my understanding is it's the company, in other
Okay.
words, the bank that's asking for the verification would be, that's the classic example. That's who would pay for that service. And it would also free up any time that my payroll staff is
Spends doing
spends. I would say it's an awful amount of time, but
What's the time?
one less thing that we can get it off our plates and have somebody else do it, and actually enhance the service. The employees can go online and look at their history and their background anytime they choose, and not have to wait, for business hours or to get a hold of somebody in payroll or personnel.
Okay.
So they're gonna give us a price on what they're gonna charge us in the future to do?
They're not
No-
going to charge
no
us
charge.
anything. There's no fee to the town.
Well, why would there be no fee? What's in it for them?
Again, they would be billing whoever it is that's asking for the information, which would be, and I guess the classic example would be somebody's going to get a mortgage and the bank wants an employment verification.
Well, do we have a rate structure from them in that proposal?
No, there's no.
No, a rate structure for the employees, because it could be exorbitant to the employee, and
No,
all of a
it's not.
sudden,
There's no-
all of a sudden, we stop doing it, and the employee's gotta pay $300 to get a W-2 or something to someone's gonna mortgage.
No, I would say in that scenario, if, in other words, they were incapable of providing the service, we would go back to doing it the way we're doing it now.
But if we sign a contract with them for a period of time, it's not that easy. I think we need a rate structure, what they're gonna charge.
Okay, I can ask that question.
Is
but
that very time-consuming,
What's that?
these requests?
It's not terribly time-consuming, but we do spend time doing it.
We average at least one a day.
Oh, okay.
And I know there's a number we forward
Okay.
And isn't that something you really gotta clear with the unions, because now their employees are gonna have to pay for these verifications, and they don't have to pay for them now?
No, their employees do not have to pay for them.
You said the company's gonna bill them.
Right.
No, the
That's what you
company,
just said.
no, the company that would be making the request would be billed by the verifier. So in other words.
Let's just
th-
say Chase Mortgage
Right.
sends in something on me. Chase
Mhm.
Mortgage will pay them for the information?
That's what I'm told,
Okay,
yes.
before it sounded like
No,
the
there's no,
employee
there's,
was paying.
no, otherwise we wouldn't be talking to you about it.
Right.
We would have kind of killed it
Well, it
at
just
that
needs to be
point.
clear, because it wasn't clear.
All right.
Okay?
Good with me. You want to discuss this? While
Yeah, well,
Elaine is here?
okay. Yeah.
While Lou's up here? Lou, you want to,
Let me just grab my.
yeah, have your report, and we'll just look at this breakdown.
See what time it might be over here.
We'll fit together.
These a bunch of
You
them for
won't be
everybody?
here.
Yeah, right.
That's the same, right, that's the same. thing.
True.
Everybody should have one then, if they're gonna talk about hiring one.
Pretty fancy shoe.
Okay, Lou, for the board's edification, maybe you could explain, you sent a memo over, we were looking into some expenditures and reimbursement policies for Horizons Counseling.
Right.
So if you could go over this memo with us,
Okay.
advise the board.
Elaine, why don't you come up here in the event that you need to,
Yeah, lean too, too.
no, it's monetary.
Is this the memo I've seen?
No.
Here.
Thank you.
What I did was,
What can
sorry.
unless the board wants to put this off a week so she can review it and have answers,
That's fine.
unless you think you're capable now to.
Well, I'll give it a shot. If I can quickly answer it, I
Okay.
will. If not, I'm not quite sure what you're basing this on
exactly what I said, what's in the accounting system.
in our
There's
account.
two revenue
I think
lines.
Patrick, you're right, I
and-
think he needs to.
Yeah,
you
know what?
Yeah, this isn't
Why
fair.
don't we-
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Why don't we
I
put
do
this
wanna
off for
tell
2
you,
weeks?
I am aware of at least
I know, but
this
there's-
last year.
I know, but they
and-
keep throwing this at you. and
Right,
it's like,
so
you
why don't
need time
we-
to spend with the controller.
That's fine, Elaine, let's
2
put it
weeks from
off and
now,
you
yeah.
review it, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks, and then we can have a work session on it. All right, Lou, we'll hold
Okay.
this till, for a couple weeks then. That's
You
all
can
I
keep
have.
that, I'll get another copy.
Okay.
Look, you could send me another copy of that?
Yes, I will. Thank you, Lou.
Do you have anything?
I don't even have a copy, so someone can give me a copy.
Yeah, I'll give it down.
Yeah? Oh, I have somebody.
Okay, I did send everybody a memo regarding, memos issued by the Highway Department regarding the HIA, Hopog Industrial Association, John Klein Park. It's in need of something like $800,000 in road repair, and I further ascertained that Mitchell needs to do something in the nature of $300,000 worth of streetlight repairs and connections, et cetera. And I put on that memo to each of you that it would seem to me that if the board is of the mind to do that, we'd have to bond that.
The other bonding, Lou's still here, right?
That'd be due in May, right, the end of May?
What's that?
The original bond that we took, the bond that we, at the beginning of this year, we had a capital budget bond, yeah. Isn't that money coming in May?
No, August.
August?
Yeah.
August.
That's correct.
So I'm a
So
little-
can we tack on that money? I don't know.
I'm a little bit confused because I thought we had some discussions on bonding for paving, and there wasn't, the board here, there wasn't any support. There wasn't enough support to do it.
No, this paving is specific for the, didn't you get that copy of the memo?
I have
Yeah,
it.
how about industrial?
No, from, the memo from
Yeah,
Murphy,
yes,
okay?
I have that.
Well, apparently they did that.
But we asked them, that could have been
Oh.
part of the original
Bond.
borrowing.
Oh, okay.
And the board, there was not enough support on this board to borrow money for paving.
But this was more specific. This came in addition but specifically for the industrial park.
I
Not
think
just
that, I think that would have been included if in fact there was enough. I think Mr. Jorgensen just stopped doing any further research, including the industrial park, because there wasn't enough support for a bond.
What's the date of the memo?
Which memo?
The memo from Murphy.
Just recently.
Just
Yeah.
a couple days ago.
So then he renewed it. Okay,
Well,
okay. Okay, I have,
Well, we really should look into it. I mean,
Yeah.
the HI, that Hopog Industrial Park pays enormous amount of fees and taxes to all the municipalities, schools, towns, everybody. So, I mean, we can't have them without lighting and potholes all over the place.
we
The
agree.
point
I
is,
agree.
we agree with that. The point is there support on the board now for new bonding?
If he's looking for eight
For
hundred
that
dollars,
specific
Which we
pur-
said no to.
for that specific purpose, for the
Yeah.
HIA, I'm for that, yeah,
I mean, the
absolutely.
money they pay, I mean, they shouldn't be treated like stepchildren.
That's why I wrote across it, it needs to be bonded.
Well, I don't think anybody ought to be treated as stepchildren. I
I'm just
mean,
talking about this one specific instance.
So I'm on board. Would that, you can't include that in the old bond, that's already,
No, you'd have to do.
A new bond.
process again. No, we could probably do some kind of note, but there's still gonna be the waiting periods.
Right.
We're gonna have approximately 50 days to wait.
If it's 50, how come the other one's all the way to August?
No. The waiting period takes us to May 22nd.
Right.
We're not going to receive the funds until August. That allows us, the May 22nd, the referendum and the estoppel
Period
period
over.
ends.
Right.
And then we can create a budget, and we can actually begin working on the project. The money will arrive in August. It allows us to complete our financials, and then go for our bond rating.
so if you were to begin a process for this, and then we get a more specific number, 850, I think, what does it say, that memo?
Yeah, it's about
830?
850,
and another
830, I think.
300,000.
And Mitchell just gave me a wild-eyed figure, so it'd be more specific. But anyway, it's gonna be in the nature of $1,200,000 or $300,000.
Right.
I would estimate that the debt service is probably gonna be, in year one,
Yeah.
probably $100,000 by itself,
Over 10 years,
15.
15. Okay, I'm for doing that.
Well, can you send us a memo like you did on the past borrowing that we did? So that, to break it all down,
Absolutely.
and then we can talk to Highway about, specifying exactly what he's gonna do over there.
Lou, you have a debt service of, you're talking principal and interest of $100,000, right?
Roughly.
Okay, so to make sure you're sort of talking interest.
No.
Okay.
It might be just an interest payment this year,
Right.
or for next year.
Right.
Depends on how we do this, but we have some options.
Okay.
Okay, I have a contractual matter which I need to discuss with the board, and Mr. Zolo, you have a,
Two litigation matters.
okay, two, I got one, okay. So there's nothing there,
The only thing I had was find out the status of the master plan.
Mr. DeWorby's?
Essentially, you have 8 volumes to the master plan, 6 have been done. The last one we published, which was about 5 months ago, was on transportation. We are currently working on the next volume, which will be land use. As you're aware, we had a person leave in January. We are actively seeking a replacement. The town board is gracious enough to hire him, and he's been at work for about 3 weeks. And we are working on the land use plan, which our schedule is to have, hopefully, that done by September. Then there'll be the final volume, which will be the actual planning, the actual master plan itself, based upon the other volumes that we have. And that will, right now, we're looking at spring of next year, assuming no other emergencies take place, but there always seems to be some. But that's our schedule that we have right now. Once this is done, by state law, these are automatically type 1 actions, and they require an environmental impact statement.
Well, it'll be public hearing first also.
Well, what's going to happen is, what we were planning is having a series of meetings with the residents, and we're going to talk in terms of that. And we were going to do that through the environmental impact statement process.
So you want the environmental impact statement process first before the public hearing?
No,
Which can be done that way.
no, we don't want to do it. We want to do it while we're going to have a series of meetings with each of the, what our intent
So
is.
you're gonna go each hamlet and do an informational meeting at, like, say, one of the libraries?
That's correct, and then we'll get the feedback on our plan, and that'll form the basis upon which the environmental impact statement will be done. And then it's up to the town board to then consider to adopt it. What you're looking at right now, realistically, is at least 2 to 3 years out, and what we're working on.
2 to 3 years?
Yes. I mean, just because of the mechanics of a comprehensive plan and an environmental impact statement.
Okay. Well, you're here, Frank. Can you divulge to the council here how your meeting went with the task force on this second part of your proposal for Lawrence Road? How that went with those residents?
Not well. What I mean by that is that there's a difference of opinion between us and the task forces to how to approach the resolutions of the problems in that particular area. What we mean planning and the consultant had recommended was a zoning strategy consisting of containment of, a creation of a new zone, placing of the zoning in a certain contained area, and then a legal strategy which will follow, that'll be incorporated with that to handle the particular problem. The task force felt in their own way that this was some sort of reward that we were given to the violators in that particular area. That's their words, not mine. And they feel that the strategy that we should take is one of enforcing the current zoning. Not being an attorney, I would rather John address that particular issue of it, but what I did say to them that we have not been successful in the past using strictly a zoning approach. And if, in other words, you're in violation of the zoning. I think the meeting ended cordially, but I still feel that the residents feel that from their point of view, they do not want us to do the zoning approach. They'd rather go with the injunctions and other things to enforce our current code. And that's basically how the meeting ended.
Well, but let me add to that. Based on that Thursday night meeting where I shouldn't say everybody, so many people got up and each had a different opinion about everything there. They were speaking with very dissonant voices. So I've never spoken to anybody. I emailed Mrs. Inzarilla and said, you need to call me, which she did. And I said, we need to talk in person so that we have one clear path here. And we met, and Frank kind of outlined what he just said here. And yes, they left saying, okay, let's see what you draw up. Was that basically what they said?
Yes.
And yeah, there was some opposition vis-a-vis rewarding them, but after Frank explained certain parts of it, not all of it, they agreed to wait until he finished it.
Oh,
At least I think they
Yeah,
agreed.
with the supervisor, I forgot about this element. What we basically said was before we accept what their approach is, I think the town board has to see the full package. You already have 2 parts, and I hope to get you the other package relatively soon, working with the town attorney.
Could you, relatively soon, can you zero in on it a little bit more?
Yeah, well, yes.
Would it be before the next Thursday night meeting? Because they will be there.
This will be up to me and the town attorney to work out, so I will say I will work with him as diligently as I possibly can. And
I'm a diligent worker too, so we'll get it done.
so if that's what you want, we'll get it done by
Well,
then. Well,
there's
let's put
2
it this way.
answers here. How did the meeting go? The meeting, they
Was it
weren't
2 different
happy?
meetings, or was it one meeting?
It was one meeting.
Okay.
And
Sure.
what I asked the residents to do was wait until we see what the package is, so therefore you could see the advantages and disadvantages of what the town's approach is.
And they're
They
willing
seem to be
do it?
amenable to that approach, yes.
Okay.
That's what the supervisor was mentioning. They seemed amenable to that.
But it's like a wait-and-see attitude.
Yes.
But I just did that because, 5 or 6 people get up and everyone has a different path they want to go to, and we can't just do it that way. We need one path. Okay,
Okay.
do we need the executive session for 2 matters? And I have one personal matter. Okay,
Move to go into executive.
Okay, move to go into executive session.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Favor?
Say it again?
you gotta wait until, those gentlemen have put their little switch on.
Rolling.
Move to end the executive session.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Move to terminate the regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
11:45 a.m.
Thank you.